Cozy Cinema,
our new series where we watch cheesy holiday-themed movies.
and then talk about it.
We will only watch the first 30 minutes of the movie.
And then, if we've never seen it, we'll make predictions about what we think will happen.
You can find all the movies we pick streaming online.
So prepare to find your next guilty pleasure. Welcome to Cozy Cinema. Today we are talking about The Princess Switch Switched Again, which can be found on Netflix. So let's do a bit of a recap in case you didn't see The Princess Switch 1, which I don't know why you wouldn't. It was
amazing, yeah.
So good. So just to recap, Stacy is a baker from Chicago, and she goes to Belgravia, which is like some made-up country.
Yep.
And she's there for like a baking contest, and while she's there, she ends up meeting this like really royal famous person named Margaret, who looks exactly like her.
Yep.
So they decide, obviously, to switch places. So while she's Margaret, she meets what's his name? Edward. Prince Edward, and they fall in love.
As you do.
As you do. And Margaret then ends up falling in love with her best friend Kevin, who has a daughter named Olivia, and that's pretty much the end of the movie. They fall in love and everything's happy and they switch back. So when we start this movie, we have a little bit of an update. So the King of Montenegro, which is where Margaret is from, has died, which is sad.
Yeah. And now she's the next in line to be queen when she didn't think she was going to be queen.
And her and Kevin have broken up because of all the demands being queen.
Because she was supposed to move to Chicago, and now she can't because, you know, she has to run a country.
Yes. So we start the movie at the 59th International Baking Competition, where Stacy is giving a speech as the Princess of Belgravia. We find out that she did get married to Edward, which I don't think happened in the first movie. I couldn't remember.
I think they did.
At the end they got married, maybe? I don't remember. But they're married now. They're back at the castle, and they're kind of like, oh, we haven't really spent that much time together now that I'm a princess and you're a prince and blah, 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 blah. And they decide they're going to spend Christmas in Montenegro, which is where Margaret is from. And then Stacy kind of brings up that Margaret isn't like really the one to be queen. She didn't really like the spotlight, and she's kind of sad now that her and Kevin broke up.
And Kevin's not doing much better.
No, we do see Kevin. Well, she talks about Kevin and that his breakup was really hard.
And he's not doing well.
No, the kid, Olivia, texted Stacy and just let her know that he's really sad. And she kind of is like, oh, maybe we should go to Chicago.
Meddle, as you do.
Yeah, and like make them get back together, which like seems like a great plan.
So Stacy hops on a flight to go to Chicago to go get Kevin. And he is a hot mess.
He is definitely a hot mess. She tells him he needs to like take a shower and get a haircut.
Stop buying cats, because apparently that's a thing that he did.
I mean, I'm a little offended. I got some cats, whatever. People can have cats. Let them have cats. Who cares? She does convince him to go to the coronation, and the kid was like, we never sent in our RSVP, so they kind of force him to go.
Yep.
And then he finally agrees and says he'll get a haircut.
And then they show up in
Montenegro. And they surprise Margaret, who's like all dressed up, like looking nice. And Kevin is also all dressed up, looking nice too. Like
he no longer looks like a hot mess.
No, dressed to impress.
He got himself together very quickly.
He says he's there as just a friend. Yeah, sure, Kevin.
That's a lie.
And they give everyone a tour of the palace, like you do when you live in a palace.
It's very drab, and everything's covered in tarps, like she hasn't been living there for 4 months.
And she says that she didn't think it was appropriate to decorate for Christmas, but they're like, but you're having a Christmas ball. So in a fantastic montage, they all help decorate, clearly with the help of staff, because it's a giant palace. They all help decorate for Christmas.
Christmas music, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like very upbeat Christmas music.
So then they decide they're going to make hot chocolate.
Which is like such a lame excuse that they get, like, oh, like, we're going to go like play Twister.
And where the other two can go make hot chocolate together so that they can reconnect.
That's where they pull down the chocolate and sugar and flour falls all over themselves, and they get in a flour fight.
Yep.
But then they're interrupted by Antonio, who is her chief of staff, and he's all like, I'm trying to help you and I want to like guide you, but he seems like super swarmy.
He's sketchy.
Yeah, I was like,
I got bad vibes from him.
Yeah, immediately, right away. Then Stacy interrupts him kissing Margaret's hand and is like super awkward about it, and she kind of asks about it, and she's like, oh, we're just friends, we've known each other forever. But then she sort of admits to like kind of having feelings for this guy, but also still having feelings with Kevin.
Yeah.
So we're setting up a great triangle right now. We're at the ball,
yes.
and Antonio is like hard sucking up to Margaret, super annoying. And then Kevin interrupts and they start dancing. And then they decide they're going to be spontaneous and go for a drive tomorrow.
And then
we have a third princess show up.
She's the cousin.
She is the cousin named Fiona, and she shows up like with her like really like weird posse.
She's like one of those, I think she's supposed to be like an heiress.
She kind of reminds me of Paris Hilton, like, but like worse Paris Hilton. Because like at this point we all know Paris Hilton kind of like that's a character. She's not really like that. But imagine if like Paris Hilton was really like that, but terrible. She kind of is just like, oh, have you guys switched lately? Now that you're like married, ha 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 ha. And then we find out that she did inherit a fortune, this cousin Fiona, but she spent it all.
So she has no money left, and she has 2 little minions, and that's how she refers to them.
Yes, she does refer to them as minions. At the same time, Margaret, we're later in the day, and then Margaret and Kevin are supposed to go on their drive, and we find out that Fiona and her lackeys stole people's wallets and stuff.
That's how they've been surviving.
Yeah, so they're stealing rich people's wallets and watches and all that kind of stuff. And they're like, how else are we going to pay for our summer vacation? Like, you're rich. I'm sure, like, you have money.
Well, she doesn't have money, but...
Yeah, I guess.
She's used it all.
I mean, I'm sure she has money to survive, but, like, not to go on, like, ridiculously expensive vacations.
So then Margaret and Kevin are about to go on their drive, and creepy, Antonio comes up and is like, oh, no, we have something we need to do.
And then he, like, smugly smiles at Kevin, and I was like, ugh.
And then you go in and he, like, creepily, like, says that he likes her with a bracelet. But
or really, I think it was a necklace.
Something.
It was, like, really gaudy, too. I was, like, not about it.
And she, like, kind of falls for it, almost. And she tells him she'll think about it.
Yeah, she's like, oh, I'm confused about who I like, but I'll consider you. Which I feel like is just her nice way of, like, blowing him off.
Yeah.
Maybe? I don't know. I'm not
I feel
really
like she's
sure.
a little confused. He's been there for her in this weird time of...
becoming queen. Yeah, and that's kind of where our 30 minutes end. So we did cover a lot of ground. We set up that Margaret and Kevin, like, we're trying to, like, set them back up. Fiona shows up as, like, the third princess, which, that shock, I was like, yes, this movie's gonna be fabulous.
Because who doesn't want Vanessa Hudgens playing 3 different characters?
No one.
No one.
Okay, so Miss Sam has not seen the movie. I have. I watched it before this. As soon as it came out, I watched it. I couldn't resist. So Miss Sam is gonna do her prediction.
Well, obviously, I feel like Antonio is just out for the crown. That's all he wants. He's gonna be super creepy and slimy. And then I feel like he's gonna team up with Fiona, and they're gonna try to steal the crown together. And like Fiona's gonna try to be Margaret. And then obviously stuff is gonna happen, and then they're gonna figure it out. And in the end, everyone's gonna end up with who they're supposed to be with, because it's a Christmas movie.
I'm not gonna ruin it for you guys because, like I said, I did watch it, but it's great. So should you watch it? I'm like giving you like 100% yes. First Princess Switch was amazing. Second Princess Switch even better. You put a third Vanessa Hudgens in the group.
In a blonde wig.
In a blonde wig, even. Oh my god, it's amazing. I cannot describe how much I love this movie, how much I love the first one. I'm on board. Miss Sam?
Obviously, yes. I'm going to finish the movie because we need to know what happens.
So anyway, yes, watch Princess Switch. So this is our last episode. Thank you guys for tuning in to Cozy Cinema. In the spring, we are definitely going to do another series of really terrible chick flicks, and we're probably going to call it chick flicks, but like with a little like baby chick. Something really cute like that. So check us out in the spring, and thanks for watching.